Hi guys, welcome back to Tom Mods Things. Today it's a bit of a weird and short episode really, but I thought we'll keep you along for the ride because as things progress it's worth sort of just putting it out there really, to be honest. What we've been doing is yesterday evening, it's now Monday, on Sunday evening we drove over to North London to go and pick up an eBay purchase that we had randomly decided it is late one evening. You're on eBay, you put a bid in that's really cheap and you go, if we win it, future Tom can deal with that. And it just so happens that future Tom did have to deal with that and had to go and pick up some wheels for the maxpower 106. Now exactly as I said on my Instagram channel, this by absolutely no means changes the decision making that's currently going on with the wheel selections that are up there for the top six. All I'm doing is effectively, if I can find any of those 6 wheels cheap enough and also in the right sizes, I will just go and buy them and pick them up, because it's becoming evident that these sort of older wheels are now becoming quite difficult to get hold of and also shooting up in price as well. So both of those things in combination means that we I think need to get ahead of it and just start to pick these wheels up. And then hopefully what that will mean is that when we get to the point where that decision is made, and that will be in the next sort of 2-3 weeks, the final polls will go up and then that will be the decision that's made. Then we will hopefully have the set of wheels that get selected, or at least have an indication as to kind of where we're going to get them. I've lined a few sort of interesting things up potentially if we really struggle to get a particular wheel, then we will still have that wheel but in a different form. And I'm not going to give too much away because it may well be that we don't actually have to do it, but if it does come off then it will be next level, absolutely crazy exciting times and stuff, and it would also be a total one-off as well, so that'll be a hint for it. But anyway, so I'll just show you what we picked up. So we've got 2 of them down here at the moment. So these were number 6 on our decisions, on the Instagram decisions that we had. These were what we would classify as the Momo twists. Now I made that name up just because they're Momos and they've got a twist in them. We don't actually know what they are, and I couldn't find out any information before picking them up as to actually what they were anyway. So we're kind of a little bit unknown really with the actual model number. I got in touch with Momo and even they didn't know kind of what the wheels were either, and were kind of not able to help me, unfortunately. So I mean, if any of you guys watching had these on the old cars, there's a few people that have posted pictures up that had these on there. If you guys could message to kind of give a model number or something, that would be awesome, because then at least we can put like a name to the wheels. So it's this sort of twin spoke 6 around with this sort of slight twist in the spoke design. You've got kind of the metal center caps which cover all the bolt holes as well, which I absolutely love and think is a great feature of wheels, and especially these older ones as well. And what's great about them is that every single one has this cap. The only thing that some of them are missing, which I think this one is, but I can't get this off, is there's bolts. So this one's got one, this one here, this one doesn't, this one here, but all of them have got the caps. Pretty much all of them have some form of curbing, but that's okay, that's not a big deal. So anyway, so what the thoughts are really with these wheels is, as I say, they're just currently they were so cheap that it was just worthwhile picking them up, and then if they get decided that that's the wheel that everyone wants to have, then great, then we've got them, we can get them refinished. If not, then I may well just keep them as spare wheels anyway, because depending on what wheels end up getting chosen, there may well be a situation where we want to take them off for winter, especially if they're chrome or something crazy like that. Then don't really want to be running those around with salt and stuff on the road. I did this the other day, so I'm not going to jack the car up and stuff just quite yet, but what I was doing was just kind of laying them in front, which we can do just like that quickly. Right, and then what we were kind of doing was just kind of getting a sort of a side profile of what they'd actually kind of almost look like on the car, be it obviously that they're not fully fitted and they're poking out, but it gives you an idea of the styling anyway. So obviously some people were saying that these wheels would definitely suit it. I think I tend to agree and think that they actually do, and really quite well as well, kind of taking into consideration the curvature of the front bumper and some of the angular features like our new headlights that we had the video of the other day. I think these actually suited really well, and they look pretty cool, to be honest. From a style of wheel point of view, I'm actually quite a big fan of them myself, but we'll see sort of what you guys think, because this is the whole point, is it's influenced by sort of the decisions that you make. They are exact fitment that we need. So they're 4x108, they are 7J, and I don't know what the offset is, but they are 4 106s, Saxos, Fords and stuff as well, with that sort of area where they all kind of had very similar offsets with their wheel configurations. So what it means is that these wheels should just fit straight on, and I'm sort of thinking and and ahhing at the moment as to whether or not just to pick up some cheap tyres, because we're going to need new tyres anyway, because as we've seen, these ones are totally flat, and I think I found somewhere on there that they are from like 2005 or I don't know, something along those lines. In any instance, they are extremely old, so they're fully cracked all kind of around the edges, so there's absolutely no saving any of them. So we're going to need new tyres anyway to get this car rolling around, so that we can kind of move it in and out of the garage at some point, so that we can start to do work on both cars again, because this also needs a fair few bits doing to it at the moment that I'm sort of in the works at the moment, but can't do that until this is out of the garage. So what we will probably do is, if we're going to get new tyres, may as well stick them on these. And if we're going to do that, we may as well get these refinished anyway, because even if we don't use these and we want to sell them, then they're much easier to sell if they're sort of actually refurbed and kind of at their absolute best potential. So I think what we'll probably do is get these Momos refinished, regardless of what the decision gets made. Get some tyres on them, bung them on the car, because then in the meantime, while we're looking for the other sets of wheels, and also those votes are coming in for the pole, it means that we can at least have the car moving around in the garage, which is the main thing at the moment. Right, so we decided we're going to get a little bit of air in the tyre, which is what we've done, just so we can just about get this jack underneath. I mean, it was very touch and go because of how low this car is. But taking you along for the ride, because it's actually going to be the first time that we take these wheels off and see sort of the chaos that's happening behind here. I've had sort of a look around with the torch and stuff, but I'm sort of working towards now we need to get up on some form of jack stand so we can take this off, and then we can start to work through some of these suspension pieces as well, because we need to make sure brakes work before we can then drive it out the garage, and various other bits. We need to tidy up all the inside and stuff. So just going to whip the old wheel off, and then we could also test fit one of these on there as well, which could be pretty cool to just see it in situ. So yeah, just going to crack on with that now and get it off. Well, that's perfect. They've used different size bolts on each of the 4 lugs. So right, here we go. Moment of truth. Let's have a look what is going on behind here. So that, as you can see, is definitely done. Look, it'll be quite interesting because we'll clean those up now actually and see what they're like properly. And then what have we got going on here? Let's get a bit of light in the mobile phone torch for the moment. Ooh, okay. Not terrible. Okay, well, clearly I would say this suspension is well past its sell-by date. I mean, just looking up in there, that is absolutely rancid. But sort of all these innards tend to be the bits that all rust out, but it actually doesn't look too bad. There's clearly some areas where the tyres have been rubbing, namely this, because the wheels are too big. But I mean, there's a few brackets. I'm going to need to sort this out down here. And then all the suspension stuff we're going to have to just go through and totally replace, I think, because yeah, it's not quite there. I wonder whether, I don't know whether these are standard or not, to be honest. I mean, they've definitely chopped a lot of spring out, because there is not a lot of spring on there, which would explain why it's so low. But yeah, not terrible, not great, but not terrible. And then reckon the stopping power is probably about right with these. Maybe we'll refurb these. Maybe just about. We'll see. And just while we're at it as well, thought we might as well clean this up as well. So we're just leaving some of the wheel cleaner on there to work its magic, and then we're just going to give them a complete rinse inside and out and just see what the quality of them comes up, because I think quite a lot of it's just dirt on there. They're actually in fairly good condition, to be honest. which is yeah, there's a few little nicks like up in here, but overall pretty good, and I think they should come up really well. So we'll check back in a sec. So, just flipped them back on the car. There's been a bit of messing around and stuff in the background, but yeah, I think you'd say that actually for a first pass and stuff, they're looking pretty good. I think it looks like they've been painted or powder coated or something over the top, because you can see where the original sort of finish was underneath, which looks like it was probably like a diamond cut finish, and then it's sort of wormed, and then they've sort of painted over the top with this kind of like a sort of chrome style paint. Obviously centre caps are they're sort of, yeah, just need a bit of TLC. I mean, we can just get rid of that. so yeah, these are going to need a real clean up, probably replaced, to be honest, because I don't think there's any saving that if we were going to keep these. But yeah, not too bad really for sort of the wheels that are on it. So yeah, they're the Dare V2s, just for reference, that are also part of the voting thing. Right guys, just to keep you updated on where we are with the crazy rear wing. What we have been doing is where we've bonded white section into the Corsa B Furious 2 spoiler. We've now just been body fillering sort of all of the filling in all the corners so that we can then shape these afterwards. So over both sides we've also been doing a small amount of repair work up this top section as well, just to keep this sort of as structurally rigid as possible. As you can see, these are the nut rivets that we put in on that last episode, and then I'll flip it over and show you what the top looks like. Right, and as you can see, put filler all along this edge, because this is the edge that we're trying to reshape at the moment, because if you remember from previous videos, and if you haven't, go back and watch those and you'll see what I mean, where it used to cut down and then kind of in, because it hadn't actually been formed properly. So we got this on there now, just waiting for it to cook, and then we can blast over the top of sandpaper and smooth it all off. And then these are the bits that are going to require loads of work, but yeah, effectively at the moment we are just trying to fill in as much of the gaps as possible, sand it off, and then it's just going to be a sort of a process of going back and forth. Put filler on, sand it off, filler back on, sand it off, and then we'll get it to a point where it's then really lovely and smooth, filling in various holes and high and low spots that we know that are there at the moment. So yeah, so that's where we are up to on that rear wing. So yeah, so that was a quick fly around of the maxpower 106 and the wheels that we picked up, and then tidying up the wheels that are on it. As I say, that those Momo ones that I've picked up doesn't change anything to do with the voting that's currently going on with the wheels. They're purely just purchased, as I said, because the wheels are getting so hard to get that if we find them cheap, we'll pick them up. So if any of the others come up, or if you have them available and you're offering them up and they're not extortionate, then yeah, get in touch, because I'd definitely be interested in grabbing those. And then what I will be doing over the next week or so, maybe, whenever I get a chance, is I'm going to be photoshopping the other wheels onto the car, and then I'll do like a sort of a not a spreadsheet as such, but just sort of an image sort of montage of each of the different styles of wheel on the car, so we can kind of gauge what the actual look of the wheels is going to be like, because there's definitely going to be some differences on those wheels, and some of the styles are going to suit, some of them maybe not so much, and that might dictate some of the decisions that get made by everybody on the voting side of things as well. But yeah, thanks a lot everyone for watching. Don't forget to subscribe obviously, and keep in touch with the channel and stuff as things are progressing, and I will see you guys on the next one.